Hey, assalamu alaikum everyone, it's Ukhti here, and today I'm going to be doing a review on one of the hottest shows on Netflix right now. It is called Indian Matchmaking.
दूसरा सबसे बड़ा मेजर चीज है कि हाउ इज वेरी गुड इन द बेड.
Yes, I'm very good in the bed. Yes, of course, I'm very good in the bed. I sleep very early, I get up early, I don't snore, I do not do the sleepwalking, I do not do the sleep talking. I stay on my side of the bed, and, I'm very good in bed. Yes, of course.
सेक्स लाइफ.
Oh, is that what you meant? Now, it really seems like all this, the marriage and love and romance reality TV shows that are really popping on the Netflix right now during this quarantine. We're all lonely, we just, at least if we can't find love, at least let us watch other people find love, Netflix is just trying to double down on what works, I guess. So today I'll be talking about a show that really hits home for me as a Bangladeshi Muslim girl living in Australia who is at the marriageable age. This show really hit home for me because whatever the people in the show were going through, like, I have been through it. So today we're going to be going through what I liked about the show, what I disliked about the show, some questions about the show that keep me up at night. At the end, I'll be giving you a little bit of insight into this whole matchmaking process, a little bit about my experience as well, and whether I would recommend you to watch this show or not. So let's get into it. So Indian Matchmaking is a show where a professional matchmaker named Seema, or Seema Auntie as the participants call her, she has clients from India and the US, and she tries to find potential life partners or marriage partners. She goes to their houses, she gets to know the boy or the girl, gets to know their preferences in who they would like to marry and what they're looking for in a spouse, and she tries and that's it. Bada bim bada boom. As she claims, people meet in the morning and they get married the next day. So it's like, whoa, what's her success rate? That's what I want to know.
ऐसे कई देखे मैंने मैचमेकिंग मैंने करा है कि चलो आज हुआ है कल मिले और परसों यस.
So what I liked about the show, some of the participants actually. One of my favorite participants was, like, from the girls was Nadia. She has such an amazing personality and she's so sweet and I really liked how vulnerable she was and how open and honest she was. I really wish her all the best. Another character who I really related with and who I really like is Vyasar. Not only because he's a teacher and I'm a teacher as well, so I know the struggles, but also because he's just such a good-natured guy, and I really connected with him on the point when he was talking about how he needed to talk about his family history with the potential person and get that cleared out. Connect with him on that insecurity that, yes, whatever happened with his father going to jail and stuff like that, it could bring him and his family down a few notches on the respectability scale in the eyes of society.
Your traditional Indian family, they want a happy family that's well-to-do. They want, a family that's respectable. Single-parent household, divorced parents, father went to prison, like, ooh, respectability has kind of gone out the window.
You don't want to talk about these kind of things on the first impression, but you do need to talk about them just so that they know about your history or about your family history, what happened in your family. And I could totally relate with him on that level because I too went through pretty much nearly the same thing. My parents, they had a very messy and dramatic divorce, which the whole community knew about, and I was told that my parents' divorce was going to be a red flag for some people when they're looking at me for marriage, even though it was not even my fault that my parents got divorced. I had nothing to do with their divorce. It's this irrational thinking that gets into people's minds and they reject people straight away based off that. So Vyasa, if you're seeing this, like, I can totally relate with that, but honestly, you need to know that it's not your fault and you just be confident with who you are because you are an amazing person. At the start, I wasn't too fond of Seema Auntie. Like, I thought she was a bit pretentious.
But when it is destined, it will happen. I'm the main source to match, so 100% will happen through me.
But actually, towards the end, I really realized that she actually has a good heart and she's really looking out for her clients, and she's just doing her job. Like, this is literally her job. And yeah, like, she can see the good in people, she can appreciate their good qualities. And I also like the fact that she calls people out for their for their difficult qualities as well, you know.
She's not stable. Like her mind is not stable, that I found that.
I also liked the character development of some of the characters. Like, for example, Aparna. At the start, she seemed like very uptight, like sort of like a robot lawyer. Like,
oh no, I hate college. No, I hate beaches. What? Yeah, I hate beaches.
who doesn't like beaches, man?
Relaxing 10 days straight. What would you do for 10 days?
Why did you put the word relaxing in front of it?
I just because that's relaxing. Just laying it like, can you relax?
Yeah, for 3 days. Like, why would you relax for 10 days? That's weird.
She was talking about finding a guy who fits her. They have to compromise and you have to compromise. It's not like they fit into your life and you don't need to change anything. That's not the right mentality. But yeah, towards the end, I really feel like she eased up a little bit, let things go, and she stepped into her feminine energy, and maybe she'll find her partner who doesn't like romance and who doesn't have to be the funniest guy in the world, and who knows that there are salt flats in Bolivia. That's very important for her, apparently.
You didn't know Bolivia had salt flats. I was like, oh, yeah.
What I disliked about this show was also some of the characters. So just to name a few, Vinny, bruh, you cannot make my girl Nadia cry like that. You cannot stand her up on a date on a freaking television show.
So he just gave me some lame ass excuse that he's not coming.
No.
Literally stood me up in front of my friends, and it was really embarrassing. I just got really upset. Like, can't believe me.
So I just thought that was so suspicious. Like, why would you do that when you know that there are cameras watching you? Why would you stand up your date in front of her friend? I really feel like that was plotted. Plotted? That was a plotted. Anyway, you don't make a girl cry, especially after building up her emotions like that. That was such a dog. And I don't know where you are, but I will call you and I will tell your parents what you did. The pair or the couple or the family that I just triggered me the most and just, ugh, I cringed at the most was like Akshay and Akshay's mother.
So you get married this year and they have a baby next year. So they are getting late because of you.
Like, she was just trying to order a bride from the menu, basically. I will have the slim, trim, and educated with a side of good family on. You make it as fair as you can, you know. Can you put good at cooking on the side? Yes, thank you. No, it's okay. I can pay extra. Thank you. How long will my order be? Oh, yeah, 3 months. Okay. No. Can you make it 3 days? I want to get my son married. You know, on the weekend. This weekend, you know, I got my nails done. She needs to be fair, slim, and trim. Are you describing cheese, auntie? You want her to be flexible?
मुझे लड़के में problem ये है कि the girl has to be a bit flexible.
Okay. Fine, that's like typical auntie behavior. But the thing that annoyed me the most was Akshay, man.
My mom is literally what I want to be looking at, yeah.
Bro, it is so clear that you are not ready to get married. But because of the environment that he lives in and the family pressure and the expectations, you know, I can totally understand where he's coming from when he just buckles into the pressure and just says yes to some random girl who apparently he likes in the end. So he's truly a mama's boy, and maybe he'll man up later on after the marriage. But with the type of house rules that his mother has in place, I don't think that's gonna happen anytime soon.
Means these are the rules of my family. We have followed. You have to follow.
So let's talk about some questions that I have about this show that keep me up at night. Like, I binged watched this whole eight episodes in one night. Like, I was up until like 2 a.m. The editing is like really good, so they leave you on a hook and then you need to just see what happens in the next episode. And I was so disappointed that there was only 8 episodes. Like, I want to know what happened in the end, okay? So my first question is that, why is everybody rich? Obviously this show didn't give a full spectrum of the whole marriage process in all of India. It's very specific to like a certain class type. Another question that kept on coming into my mind was, does Auntie Seema get paid? And if so, how much? Like, how much moolah is she getting for doing all this hard work? And like, how does she get paid? Does she get paid if the couple does get together, or is it a subscription base, or is it like, what is it? And also like for her flights to the US, like, and to other parts of India, like, who pays for that? Did she? Anyway, that's just a question that I think about in the shower. Did anyone end up finding their match during the event of the show? So I think according to some articles, no one did end up finding their match. It seems like the only success that came out of this whole show was Akshay and his fiance's engagement, which was not really in the natural sense anyway, because he was highly pressured into it. Also, one thing that I really think about is what makes people have all these criteria in the first place. Is it society? Is it culture? Is it the fact that they can't stand being with someone who's different to them, not being able to have conflict? Because the woman who rejected Vyasa because he wasn't ambitious enough, like, girl, like, that is like the perfect match for a woman who is ambitious. Because an ambitious woman, a career-orientated woman, she can go out and work and make all the moolah for the family. And he said that he's willing to stay at home and be the perfect father, be the cook, and be the foundation for the family, while she goes out and does her thing and not have to have any of that mom guilt. Man, it's perfect. Also, another question that I just have about reality TV shows in general, but especially about this one because it was all brown people, is that how was everybody acting so natural? Like, you know, everyone was so natural on camera while they were on their dates, while they were talking, even the parents and stuff as well. Too realistic to be true. And I'm pretty sure that there must have been some sort of planning around the character development and the plot twists and you know, etc., just to make the series more digestible and binge-worthy. The last part of this video is about this matchmaking process. So I have actually been through this type of matchmaking process. I am telling you, it was literal hell. It was the most emotionally and mentally and spiritually draining time of my life, and that went on for like 2-3 years by the way, until I got married and divorced, and now I'm just taking a break from all that shit. But anyway, that's another video for another topic, so go ahead and subscribe if you want to know about that. We can make my whole life into a Netflix drama. Maybe I'll pitch that to Netflix, who knows. But yeah, I can remember it. Oh, the biodatas. The biodatas. You judge someone based off a paper and their profile picture, and the first impressions, the judgments, the people coming to your house and trying to be all nice and, you know, trying to talk about the serious things on the first meeting or the second meeting because you don't want to waste time if there are serious incompatibilities or red flags from the very beginning. It's just such an emotionally draining process, and it's not just draining for you, it's draining for the whole family as well. Like, you are literally put on the spot to say yes or no from the very beginning. Like, you have to be so decisive. If you are not sure about yourself, if you're not sure about what you want in life and how you want your life to be, or if you're not sure about the person, or if you're not even sure about the concept of marriage and settling down, if you're not 100% comfortable and serious about that, this process is not for you, because you would be fudged from the very beginning. This process is really for people who are willing to get their families involved and compromise with whatever they get as well, and be really open and public about their feelings, about their thoughts about a person, and being vulnerable to rejecting a person or being rejected by a person, and still being strong enough to continue on after getting all these emotions involved. I've rejected guys, it was not nice. I've been rejected as well, it was not nice either, but eventually, I mean, what can you do? You get over it and you continue on. Number 2 is that these criteria that these people are just spitting off like ingredients in a biryani recipe, some of them are definitely praiseworthy, like family values, career, and having a good personality. And I don't even blame the guy who says that he wants someone who he's attracted to. Obviously, he went for the model, so we know exactly what his type was. But some of these criterias that people reject others off of are so superficial. Like, the thing about this whole process is that you might meet someone naturally, like at like whatever. Where do people meet people these days? Where do brown people meet each other these days? At the library, right? Get to know them without any expectation. And then you see them for who they are rather than what they are. You know, you might find someone who you are extremely attracted to and you gel with from the very first, but with this whole matchmaking process, you could literally reject that very same person just because he's 2 centimeters shorter than you, and you would never get a chance to meet that person. Why? Because you rejected him off of his height. So it just makes me think, like, you're building the foundation of a lifelong relationship based on these superficial filters, which people have no control over. With looks, you can't control, wealth, height, your skin color. You can't control any of that. And rejecting someone because he's a little bit dark, or she's not that slim, or she has to be 5'3",
समझ नहीं आती है कई एजुकेशन का प्रॉब्लम कई एज का height ka.
Like, that is just, it's really sad, because in the end it's a person's character that makes or breaks a relationship, whether it is a arranged marriage like this or a love marriage. Now, I don't want to make this video too long, but I do want to make another video on the pros and cons of this matchmaking process, because as Muslims, we eventually have to go through this process as well, and I've been through it. I think I can offer you some insight. So go ahead and say qabul to the subscribe button, and like the video, because I know you would swipe right on me, eh? Yeah. Indian matchmaking on Netflix. Would I recommend you to watch it? Yeah, sure, why not? I liked it, because I could relate with it so much, and it did cringe me out a little bit. It did trigger me out a little bit, but that's okay, because then it gives you something to think about and something and for you to see whether you agree with what's happening in the show or not, and what you would do differently. If you want to join in discussions like this with me, then follow me on Instagram at ukhti, where I do have discussions about marriage and personal development and religion. So let me know if you watch the show and what you think about it in the comments down below, and I will see you on my next video. Assalamu alaikum and peace.